The Lausanne organization is a movement that was started by Dr. Billy Graham and John Stott in 1974, and so they met in Lausanne, Switzerland, thus the name of the movement, the Lausanne Movement. And they discovered that the world leaders of missions do not know each other.
At Lausanne, we saw the global body of Christ gathered. 5,400 leaders from 202 countries.
The Lausanne Movement is one of the two organizations that unite the world of missions across the body of Christ.
Throughout the week, from the plenary sessions, workshops, and in personal conversations, similar burdens and passions to reach and disciple amongst the lost were continuously being expressed.
There were some significant themes that showed up all through Lausanne, the Lausanne gathering.
The themes that were there reflected our Navigator call and calling.
The whole idea of display and declare, incarnating the gospel and proclaiming the gospel.
Themes like discipleship, discipling.
The idea of missional communities.
Go into all of the nations, especially the unreached and underreached.
Whole issue of servant leaders. The gospel needs servant leaders.
And then the idea of polycentric missions.
Ordinary people, next generation, which we're all about as navigators.
The word discipleship and disciple making were featured in almost every major plenary session in the entire Lausanne conference, 6 days long.
In Lausanne, I've heard many times the word disciple making. Michael O also emphasized importance of disciple making and disciple maturity.
As navigators, we have a unique contribution to bring.
Because we emphasize disciple making for us as an organization, it was very helpful to see that we have something to offer.
When they identified the 25 gaps in achieving the Great Commission, I think all of these gaps are solved by disciple making, and that's what we bring to the table.
After Lausanne, I had a timed prayer to give my life to disciple making again.
Is the issue of the workplace and laborers.
Your workplace is a holy place. You are priestly presence in your workplace. And that's why you will want to live a holy life in this space.
Themes like CIPs, so I feel like every navigator, regardless of what they do, within the navigators definitely experienced, something that strengthened their vision and their commitment to our navigator calling, whether they're doctors, engineers, lawyers, whatever God is calling them to.
My heart was stirred deeply to go and mobilize and energize workplace laborers.
We believe that marketplace leaders have a huge role to play in reaching cities and spreading the gospel.
Having worked in the nursing field for almost 30 years, I can personally testify of the impact that a Christ follower can have amongst those whom he is around for almost half of their day.
One of the things that really challenged me was the definition for work, that in, I think the Hebrew word is it adava, it actually means worship. To say, I want to go back home and affirm all my friends, what you're doing, you are worshiping God, you are serving God, and begin to cast vision for them for disciple making where they are at.
My favorite though is that the 1% of us, the professional missionaries or clergy, need to equip and mobilize and build the 99%.
Then the workplace, the people in the 99% is also key.
To just bring energy to them, say, hey, we are in this together.
The issue of collaboration.
it was very clear that the Great Commission is so big, it's so large that a single organization cannot pursue it. So that it needed the whole church.
I think going forward, we have much to learn from our brothers and sisters around the world, and there's much for them to also learn from us.
There will be some meetings that will say, what did that do for us? And I say, wait a minute. It's not just for us, but for the entire body of Christ, what we learn and what we give.
God has used the Lausanne movement over many years.
The Lausanne movement gives us a connection across the body of Christ that we would never have were we not having these Lausanne gatherings.
We have an opportunity and we have an obligation to together listen to God.
All of the leaders of our early staff, Doug Sparks, Roy Robertson, Warren Myers, new leaders in the other organizations in Indonesia, in Korea, in Taiwan, in Kenya, and they were friends. But that is a generational issue.
To all of the senior generations in this room, from the bottom of my heart, we need you.
So generation by generation, we need to renew those friendships and make them current today.
But we must always, even in collaborating with others, find ourselves even more faithful to our calling to advance the gospel of Jesus and his kingdom into the nations through spiritual generations of laborers living and discipling among the lost.